Hey, this is Gary with Today for Tomorrow, and this video is about growing a food forest in a small or limited space. Now, I think a lot of people want to grow food forest, but they only have a small space, and that keeps them from doing it, but it doesn't have to. There's a couple strategies I've discovered that will let you grow a lot in terms of variety and produce a lot in a small space. I'm going to share them with you. I'm going to take you out and show you my food forest, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll get out there and do one yourself. So let's take a look at mine. This is a side yard facing south. By the way, we're in South Florida, and roughly 500 square feet going that way, and a backyard facing west, roughly 500 square feet going that way. Nothing in here has been in here longer than 7 months, and you can see how much is here. I have over 20, I think probably 25 species of tropical fruit plants in here, and then I've got vegetables worked in as well. Everything back here is edible, and it's a testament to what you can do in a small space. I'm going to give you 3 strategies to pull this off. 1, think small, buy small, keep small. What I mean by that is buy small plants. They actually grow quicker when you get them in the ground than the big ones. Buy plants that mature at a small height. There's a lot of dwarf varieties available, and if you can't buy dwarfs, then just keep them trimmed small. Okay. The second strategy, if you will, is dual purpose. You look back there and you see a hedge on the south side and a hedge on the west side. I'm replacing that in its entirety with edible plants. They'll serve 2 purposes. They're going to give me part of my food forest, and they're also going to provide that screening with the neighbors. Finally, I think you need to consider it's a dynamic system. And what I mean by that is your trees are permanent, but everything else really isn't. So what can you grow quickly while you have sun, and what do you have to grow more slowly and where you'll hopefully always have sun? And if you look at it that way, you can get a lot happening right off the bat and continue it. Let's get out in the garden and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we talked about buying small or keeping small. So here we go, bananas. This is dwarf banana. They make dwarf bananas. They're not going to get too tall, only about as tall as me, and they grow very quickly and they produce fruit very quickly. They're great for soaking up sun right now while you have it and producing food really quickly. And later on, if they get shaded out, you can thin them out, no big deal. Here's a slow growing plant in a jaboticaba, these 2 bushes here. They're going to be permanent residents, they're trees, but they're slow growing, so they have to have sun. Now, herbs, fast growing, my only grass, lemongrass, of course, grows very quickly. And herbs, they're always going to need some sun. Okay, here's an example of buying a small plant because they actually grow more quickly. A sub-canopy tree in sugar apple, 30-gallon pot, $30 3-gallon pot, $70 7-gallon pot, both bought at the same time. This was obviously bigger, but now look, it's smaller. Smaller plants in pots aren't as root bound. When they hit the soil, they grow quickly. You're going to save money, you're going to save your back, you're going to save time. Buy the small potted plants. Okay, canopy trees. Again, this avocado, I'm going to keep it. It's not a dwarf, but I'm going to keep it at roof height. Sub-canopy, I'm going to keep it maybe 6-8 feet high. Small bushes, blueberries, they're going to stay small. Along this whole, here's the dual purpose. Here is a cranberry hibiscus, which is a cool plant because you just chop a piece and you stick it in the ground as I've done here, and it just takes off growing. This whole hedge line is going to become dual purpose edible hedge. That's Suriname cherry. I have it here. That's mulberry there. Barbados cherry in the corner, and then Suriname, black Suriname cherry all the way down the back. Dual purpose hedge. Let's look here now. Here's another mulberry. Look at ground cover. Small space, keep it neat. Neat pathways, metal trim to keep everything in place. It lasts forever. Gravel, it's going to last forever. And then ground cover, in this case, flowering peanut. Keep out the weeds, keep it neat, keep it simple, fix the nitrogen. Next canopy tree, sapodilla, again, small. I'm going to keep it the height of the pool enclosure. More of this banana that's in here, it's going to be everywhere through the garden. My next canopy tree is this Glen mango. It's going to be my smallest canopy tree. Remember, you have to plant according to the sun. smallest plants closest to the sun. Here in Florida, the sun's always south, so the canopy trees are going to get bigger as they go that way. Okay, we talked about the dynamic system, areas that have sun now or will always have sun versus areas that don't. Here's an area that has sun and will for probably 2 or 3 years, so I can do a slower growing plant, pineapple, aloe. Another canopy tree in this mango, and behind it the very fast growing papaya. Instant gratification, heavy fruiter, 4 years max, chop it down, start again. More banana, more banana. Gruma cherry, this is a slow grower. It's going to be a bush. I could let it be a huge tree like that oak tree. I'm not going to let it. It'll be a bush. A very fast grower in a June plum. I did not realize that when I bought it. I thought it would stay small down here. I know it could take a little shade, but I'm constantly topping that. It's a fast growing tree. Slow grower in this Mamey sapote. And then here you can see an area that has sun and will for a very long time. I'm working in row crops, garden crops. In this case, kale and peppers do really well here. Finally, canopy tree in this longan. In the pot back there is a lychee, and then that's my compost back there. So, as you can see, I can get a lot of plants, and I can get a lot of variety in a small space, and by chasing that sun and growing fast-growing varieties where I can, and keeping the slower growing varieties where I need the sun for longer, I can always kind of max out the space and just move things through here. So over time it will change. You will see some bigger trees in here, but the principles remain the same. Maximize the sun, maximize the space. I hope that helped. I hope it inspired you to plant your own food forest in your own backyard, address all these global environmental challenges: carbon footprint, carbon sink, global warming, food and water scarcity, pollution. It really goes on and on when you think about it. You can do it in your own backyard. The little things you do today in your daily life make such a big difference in all of our tomorrows. Thanks for watching.